Welcome to another episode of the Good Kraken podcast. Again, welcome back. I am your host, Ernell Pearson, alongside the 5-star man, Devin Stanford. Oh shit, I'm dropping stuff now.
What's up, dude?
Devin, this is great because we were just talking about fucking this up last time. Like literally just the other night we were talking about fucking this up. My little Thai peanut, it's Xander.
Hey, what's up?
And the queen of bitchin' herself, Genesee Gabrielle. And her Beats headphones.
Hey, Beats are tight. Don't worry. He's not making fun of you. Beats are good.
No. I have no issues with Beats whatsoever. I just didn't realize that you had them. It's kind of bougie. You were like flossing on us and you didn't really mean to. And I'm like, okay, I'm here for it, Genesee. I'm here for it. You know what I mean? Speaking of which,
it's
Genesee,
how I compensate for not knowing shit.
I love that for you. I love that for you. You got to get some flex counters in. Devin's taking all of them. It's okay. I love that for you.
Wait. No.
You got it. Thank you. I appreciate you. Genesee, we had you here last Saturday. How have you been since last weekend?
You know, I've been all right. I've seen so much of you guys this week. I don't think I've seen as much of you guys as I have this week, so that's been incredible for me.
And I'm here for it. I'm so here for it. I'm here for it. It's so good to have you. Now, is that a problem? Do you have a problem with that? Is that an issue? Like, should we
fight you? No, it's been so wonderful. Naomi has been like just having to hear about you guys all week, basically, because she like goes to work and does things, and I'm sitting here like either we're talking about like the training I'm leading on communication, or I'm talking about you guys. So she's heard a lot about you guys this week.
Oh, that's so sweet. Oh, we love you. We love you so much. Xander, how have you been, baby boo?
I've been pretty good. Today, in fact, has been awesome. We had little Lydia's first soccer game.
Oh, yes.
She was amazing. She's just all over the field. Now, I will say, Munchkin's soccer is so hilarious to watch, especially if you've ever played Nazi zombies, because it's like...
I'm sorry, come again?
It's like... So, hear me out. It's like the ball is the character that you play as, and all the kids are the zombies that you're leading the train. They have no concept. Yeah, they have no concept of like space and like, okay, I'll be running alongside over here, and you pass to me. They have no concept of that. It's just everyone just go for the ball. It's like it was like a rugby scrum. Like that's what it looked like. Just like everyone like just like
that sounds hype.
But it was awesome. It was awesome.
Did they ever score?
Oh yeah. So there's one kid. I swear I had to get an ice pack for his back because he was carrying the team. Like it was just like 1, 2, 3, 4. Like I'm just like, oh my god. It's like this kid. And the crazy thing is, he knows he's good. This kid's like maybe like 4 or 5 years old, and he gets up to the goal. He looks back. He has time. The zombie train has yet to reach him, and he does this every single time. Kick.
This kid's amazing. This kid's a fucking champion.
This is awesome.
Does he kick with his left foot or his right foot?
He was a righty.
Okay. He's got a cannon already. That's good for him.
Oh yeah.
He's gonna be out here killing it.
It was definitely entertaining. So I'm looking forward to more soccer games here in the future.
You're like I need to find out who that kid is so I can watch every game through his career.
Oh my God.
I was there first.
That voice, Devin. Here's the deal. How have you been though, dude? How have you been, my guy?
I've been pretty good. I've worked a lot this week. Like a lot.
Okay.
A lot.
Okay. A lot. All right.
We rolled credits on Man of Medan last night, so that was dope.
Yes, we did after 5 or 6 issues coming up the entire fucking time.
But we did it.
And they were all my fault. It was all my fault.
I've been playing a lot of the Battlefield 2042 beta, so that's been really tight. I'm stoked on that game.
Mm-hmm.
And Malignant sucks.
Genesee, I'm not trying to expose Naomi. Do you want to turn your camera just a little bit to your left? I don't want to expose Naomi.
She was clothed. I would like the record to state she was just putting on a hoodie.
I know. I just I didn't want it to like non-consensually have Naomi on a stream if she didn't want to be. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just trying to be nice. You know?
Yes, I appreciate it.
No, I would hate if I had someone streaming and I was in the background and I was like because here's the deal, I look dumpy 90% of the time, so I just be in the back being like,
right,
welcome to Chili's, in the background.
Right, almost like if someone recorded you shoving your face with curly fries and you didn't know that you were being included in that.
I cut.
Almost like that now.
Listen, I cut all of them. I only got you drinking a milkshake, so let's be real. Okay, I tried.
Welcome to Just Chatting.
I am just, yeah, I know, right? I tried. I really did try, but that's because we try here all the time. Segue, because this is the Good Kraken podcast, your choice for all the nerdy video game and pop media news, reviews, and discussions that you want to hear live every Saturday at 7 p.m. and Saturday at 12 p.m. If you're watching live, you can submit questions and topics to tinyurl.com/goodkrakenshow to be a part of the show. Sorry, no, tinyurl.com/GK submissions. I always fuck that up. Thankfully, it's going to be changing soon. You guys will find out here why.
Let's go.
Pretty soon in a second. If you're having a good time so far, you can watch us record the show live and ad-free by following and subscribing right here at twitch.tv/goodkrakenshow. If you have Amazon Prime, you also have Twitch Prime, and we would love for you to give that to us to help keep us pushing content out for all of you listening and or watching at home. But if you emptied your pockets for the latest and greatest in entertainment, that is totally fine. You shut up, you're fucking process. I'm gonna screw up again. You can catch our episodes on your podcast service of choice at 8 a.m. the next day. But you can also support us by going to our YouTube channel by clicking the link right down there in the About section of our Twitch page and clicking that beautiful bell and big red button, or by subscribing to our podcast channel by searching Good Kraken with an exclamation mark and leaving a review there. Review. We've got a little bit of plan of work, and most of it is going to be the big ol' announcement that we're about to drop on all of y'all here in a second. But firstly, yes, you can watch our VOD of me and Devin spending 2.5 hours trying to beat the last half of Man of Medan last night. We played it. We kept running into tech difficulties because my computer is a stubborn old frog. You know what I'm saying? He's just out here just acting a fool. You know, just acting a fool, just like me, just like his good old dad. And I was like, it's okay, boy. It's a boy. And then we beat Man of Medan. You can watch that VOD right over there. It's going to be dope. Next week is Back for Blood getting released, and we're going to be playing it next Wednesday. Definitely check that out. That's going to be a fun VOD. But also before that, though, next Tuesday, we have another episode of the Good Kraken podcast, and it's going to be litty, y'all. It's going to be tight. I'm super excited for it. I'm also excited, guys, for the big bones here. The big old bones here. We got a good, wonderful presentation for all of you. We have been working vigilantly. I am just so tired. I am so.
Oh, I feel that.
Me and Xander and Devin and all of us are just so goddamn tired because we've been doing it. We've been doing it for a minute now. And we have a presentation for all of you. We have what we are calling the Good Kraken 2021 announcement. So we're going to announce that and show that to you guys live right now here at twitch.tv/goodkrakenshow. Please kick back, enjoy, watch what we have for you. What's cracking, everybody? My name's Ernell.
I'm Devin, and we're the owners and hosts of Good Kraken.
Back in March, Good Kraken started as a fun little project that has since grown to be an incredible dream. Now here we are just about 6 months later, having a blast making content for all of you.
And 2021 has obviously been a really weird year for all of us. The pandemic virtually shut down the world, but it hasn't slowed us down, and we don't plan on hitting the brakes anytime soon.
That's right, Devin, and as a matter of fact, we're aiming to make even more happen. We've spent this year meeting great people, making outstanding friends, and having amazing conversations around nerd culture and the underrepresented groups within it. Good Kraken has built everlasting relationships with some of the most talented content creators and workers these industries have to offer, and you guys have been here every step along the way. We will continue to collaborate with even more phenomenal guests on our Saturday shows. We want to offer just as much to them as they do to us. We want to make GK more than just a place for a bunch of friends to have fun. We want to make it an entire community so that we can offer a bigger platform to the guests we have on the shows. So instead of having a guest on every Saturday, we're going to continue to fill our guest spots a couple times a month so that we can focus on building a brand and making Good Kraken the family that you want.
Speaking of building a brand though, we gotta start this off strong. On top of recording ridiculous, wild, and morally questionable content, we've been working tirelessly on the quality of Good Kraken from the bottom up. After a lot of hard work and some creative beauty from our friend Zach Silver, we are proud to present a new and improved Good Kraken.
Good Kraken.
In order for us to take these steps in a real way, we had to take the biggest step of all. Good Kraken is now officially a company. We're putting all of our eggs into this basket, not just by creating content, but by giving you quality. And that starts with shedding our old skin so we can give you amazing core content.
Shedding our old skin also insinuates that we're growing, and hot damn are we growing. But we need your help to create the content that we want to create. In order for us to do this, we're looking to fundraise $1,000 through to the end of October to get Good Kraken through the rest of our fiscal year. This money will go towards better equipment, games and movies that we would love to review throughout the rest of the year, getting some sick Good Kraken drip made, and any other little thing we might need to produce rad shows for all of you. Now, how can I help Good Kraken, you might ask, my good friends? You can head on over to patreon.com/goodkrakenshow to be a part of this.
Through our Patreon, you will have early access to all of the content before it hits podcast and video services, as well as access to post-show content that is not available anywhere else, monthly Q&As, and semi-annual town halls exclusive to patrons, and even a direct line to submit questions and topics to be a part of our various shows. However, that's not all we're gearing up for. As the fundraiser continues, we will be rewarding you guys with even more shows in tiers. For every goal that is reached, we'll be adding another series or piece of content to the GK catalog. At $100, we'll bring back the Shipwreck Show as a pre-recorded, ongoing weekly podcast. If we hit $300, we'll do a weekly multiplayer gameplay stream called Splash Damage. At the $600 goal, we'll do a special series where we all rank all of the Phase 1, 2, and 3 Marvel Cinematic Universe content. And if we hit $1,000, we'll do a 12-hour stream in the beginning of 2022 to celebrate kicking off year 2 of Good Kraken.
However, you're probably thinking, guys, this is a metric shit ton of money. We can't afford that, but we've got you. We're offering 3 different ways for you to help support. Every dollar you pledge over on patreon.com/goodkrakenshow will go towards these goals. But because we offer a majority of our content as live shows on Twitch, each dollar spent on any of our tiered subs on Twitch will count, including Twitch Prime subscriptions. Then lastly, if you're really roughing these waters but still want to support without spending a single penny, every single new subscription to our YouTube channel will count as $2. This is a lot of content for us to be doing though, Devin. How in the world are we going to balance this? How are we going to put up with me talking about my butt for 4 to 5 days a week? How will the chaos be quelled?
Oh, I'm not putting up with any of that, especially alone. As mentioned before, we have been so fortunate to meet so many talented and amazing individuals within the games and entertainment industries. We've laughed, we've cried, we've smiled, and we've contemplated. And now we're proud to announce that we've officially added some familiar faces to the family. For our final announcement, we'd like to introduce the rest of the Good Kraken team.
What is up, everybody? My name is Garrick, aka Vermilion Beard, aka The Crimson Chin, and I am super stoked to be joining the Good Kraken family. You guys can catch me co-hosting on weekly episodes of Good Kraken, The Shipwreck Show, and Splash Damage.
Hi, I'm Raven, and I do things. You mean I'm supposed to say more than that? Okay. Hi, I'm Raven, and I make dirty jokes. And sometimes I post things on our Twitter. I also sometimes maybe pop up on things like, I don't know, the Good Kraken show. I don't think I'm doing this right, y'all.
What's cracking, everybody? It's Xander here, and I will be GK's resident design and animation wizard. You can also catch me each week on the Shipwreck Show, as well as popping up here and there on the Good Kraken podcast and Splash Damage.
I'm Chase. I play video games. Yeah.
Hello, everybody. I'm Genesee Gabrielle of the Let's Get Bitchin' podcast, and I am so stoked to continue being a part of the Good Kraken fam to help cover and review any and all Marvel Cinematic content pretty soon after it drops. So excited to bitch with y'all.
Well, guys, this has been Good Kraken's announcements for the remainder of 2021. And we'd like to say thank you from the bottom of our hearts for supporting and believing in this crazy, wild journey that we decided to venture on. We're still learning, we're still growing, and we're still so honored to have each and every single one of you be a part of it. We love all of you so much. We cherish all of you so much. And we will see you guys next week. But until then, my friends, be good to each other. Guys, I am so fucking excited that we finally got this out. That is it. Good Kraken is officially a full company. We are doing it. We have Raven, Genesee, Xander, Garrick, Devin, Kinda Chase. All of us are now the family. Raven, we love you so damn much. We love you so damn much. Guys, we are so fucking excited to get this out.
I can't make hearts. I'm making a pumpkin with my hands because it's spoopy season.
It's this. It's
Spooky.
You just throw the diamond, the Jay-Z diamond.
Spoopy.
Raven says, I'm Polly, so marry me, all of you. Okay. Yeah.
I just gotta work that out with my captain. But
we'll be your cult wives. We'll be your cult wives. That'll be.
Yeah, my wife might object, but
Hey, Naomi's invited too. You know what I mean? Naomi's invited too. It's a cult. There are no bearings here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there you go.
That's what I'm talking about, guys.
oh my god, would that make you guys my work wives?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that would.
Yes.
Since
that's
I don't like go to work? OMG.
Yeah. That is exactly it. Yes, exactly. And yes, everyone, thank you so much again for coming in, supporting us, giving us all that love. And we hope to be bringing more content for all of you guys and some awesome stuff to the table for all of you to enjoy. Please go to patreon.com/goodkrakenshow. Right now, you can put in subscriptions there. It is a damn good time. I still got to get pictures up for each tier, but I'll be working on that later. It's fine. It's not a huge deal. But I got all the tiers figured out and stuff. We got lots of stuff to offer you guys, from post-show content, early access. Like, there's all sorts of goodies that you guys can get there over on patreon.com/goodkrakenshow. I'm gonna be saying that a lot. I'm trying to get used to it now. It's like you guys can put on questions and topics to patreon.com/goodkrakenshow and do it that way. Puppy! There's a puppy, a little baby. In Genesee's background, there's a little puppy that just ran across. I was like, oh, Raven. Okay, more laundry and ish, but I'm keeping y'all on the big screen. We love you, Raven. You have fun doing laundry. I have to do laundry today too, guys.
Let's fun doing laundry.
Listen, it's a laundry day. Am I right?
That's like saying, yeah, you have fun brushing your teeth.
I have fun brushing my teeth.
You have a great time.
I think brushing teeth is fun.
Some people are into that.
Well, I will argue. So we have an app for my daughter, and she has a blast with it. She will literally just, oh my god, hold on. A lawnmower just popped on. I don't know if you guys can hear that.
No, you're fine. Yeah. It's cutting out. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you're fine.
Oh, is it cutting out? Okay, cool.
Good job.
I'm just gonna close the window because I can't hear you guys.
Oh, okay. Go do the thing. Anyways, it's I have a good time brushing my teeth. I have a good time doing laundry. I have a good time grocery shopping. I like doing all these things.
Grocery shopping, yeah, especially when they play the late 2000s pop songs.
Oh,
Ernell is the house husband.
I am the house husband. Yes, I try. But
speaking of house husband, there's more episodes on Netflix.
Really?
Well, I digress for Devin because we're going to get into the main stuff here. We are talking Marvel's What If today, and it's going to be dope. Marvel's What If released first episode August 11th, 2021, created by AC Bradley, directed by Brian Andrews, with a runtime of each episode between 30 to 37 minutes. Unfortunately, I could not find a exact number window of what the budget for this show was. I don't think Disney's released those numbers quite yet. But when we have them, I'm sure we will be talking about them here. Little pieces of trivia for you guys here. So first off, an interesting one that kind of spoke to me at first. An episode pitch involving the Guardians of the Galaxy was suggested for the first season, but it had to be scrapped after AC Bradley was told that she had inadvertently written half the plot of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. So I'm assuming that anybody who is watching this has more than likely gone and seen this show. There is what I will say, we will try to keep this relatively spoiler free for the first half of this for everybody. When we start diving full on into spoilers, Husky, what's happening, dude? When we start diving into full spoilers, we will give you all a warning so that you know to jet out if you have not finished the show. When you do finish the show, come back, listen to the rest of this episode. It'll be tight. With that said, there is a character in the last episode of the show that dauntingly comes out of nowhere. And that is because they are a part of this episode that got cut from the season. And I'm sure you guys might know what I'm talking about. We will dive into it during spoilers, but that is the episode. Marvel Studios announced at San Diego Comic-Con in July 2019 that a slate of original streaming programming will debut on their new streaming service Disney+, which launched in November 2019. One of them is the series, an anthology based on the famous comic series that focus on alternate reality tales running parallel to the Marvel Universe. That is essentially what we're looking at here. Another one that stood out to me here, several actors from the mainstream MCU will not be returning to voice the characters in the series, like Robert Downey Jr., Tom Holland, Chris Evans, Scarlett Johansson, Elizabeth Olsen, Dave Bautista, Zoe Saldana, James Spader, Letitia Wright, Gwyneth Paltrow, and Brie Larson. Most of these actors have been since long departed from the MCU after their contract with Marvel expired, while some were replaced due to scheduling conflicts. Their characters are voiced by other voice actors instead. And a lot of times, you can kind of tell. Yeah, you can very much tell a majority of the time. The Watcher narrator character of this series, unlike the Watcher seen in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, listening to Stan Lee's cameo character more resembles the cosmic entity Eternity, co-created by Steve Ditko, who is a giant figure that appears to contain stars and galaxy within its own body. I know that we've very loosely talked about Eternity in some prior stuff as far as like predictions and stuff that we've had before. It's cool that they do stuff like this, sort of combining comic characters and stuff. I thought that was a really, really cool aspect here. Lastly, what I got for you guys, before it was officially announced, the show was originally planned to be one season and 23 episodes long, with each one centered around each movie in the Infinity Saga. The production constraints forced Marvel to split it into what was eventually announced to be two 10-episode seasons. When the COVID-19 pandemic began, the season episode count was dropped to 9 episodes each, seemingly meaning that for all future seasons of the show going forward, they will each be 1 episode shorter than they would have been prior to March 2022. It is lit, guys. It is lit. And now, even then, we have 9 episodes of juicy, juicy, juicy content, guys. And I want to just start from the top here. Xander, what were your top level thoughts of Marvel's What If?
So ultimately, going into this, I was thinking, so they announced that this whole series is going to be canon to the mainstream MCU universe as we know it. So I'm going into this thinking, okay, so from what we've seen multiversally connected from WandaVision, Loki directly. I'm thinking there's gonna be like little bits and pieces here leading up to, No Way Home, Multiverse of Madness.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't necessarily get too much of that in this, so I was a little bit let down on that aspect. But they did a really, I'll say they did a pretty good job of showcasing what could have happened in these different universes. I mean, there are a few exceptions. We'll get to that in a little bit. I have my gripes with a few of these episodes, but as a whole, it was enjoyable. It was kind of cool to see, like, what if, for lack of a better phrase.
Love that.
It was really cool, and there are some moments where you're just like, oh no.
Yeah.
So ultimately, like, overall, it's enjoyable. There are a couple moments where I'm just like, I don't have any desire to go back to that. But as a whole, it was definitely entertaining.
Perfect. Devin.
I felt it had a really dark take on a lot of the what ifs. Like, it was definitely a common theme. There was some of it I really, really liked, and there was a decent portion where I was kind of like, okay, But ultimately, I was happy with the way that things ended. I really was, and it gives me a lot of thoughts and a lot of other what ifs now with this being canon.
Oh, your internal what ifs. I like that. I like that. Devin's brain what ifs. I love it, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
Genesee, what do you got for us?
So wasn't my fave. I didn't love it. Quite simply. It was so there were parts of it that, like, when I started watching it, I was like, okay, this is actually a lot more interesting than I thought it was going to be. I'm not usually a huge fan of, like, the animated, like, Marvel content. It just usually doesn't hit for me. But I got into it and I was like, oh, fuck yeah. I really enjoyed, like, Captain Carter, the T'Challa episode. Like, they were the first few episodes were actually pretty hype for me. I was like, okay, no, this is actually hella interesting. And they did a lot of things, like, with the animation of it really well. And they really, like, exacerbated some of, like, the things that needed to be exacerbated in the animation of it. I really do feel like that aspect of it that I liked a lot was lost in later episode, because then we get to the last episode and it did not feel as dramatic as it should have felt, especially being in an animated format. I was kind of, like, surprised with that. Yeah, but we'll get to that when we get into spoilers. But yeah, those are really just my thoughts.
Okay.
Kind of disappointed. Cool.
Yeah, I actually very, 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 very much loved the show. I loved everything from front to back. The animation style is so much fun. They did such a good job animating this. I genuinely enjoyed everything that they did an animated version of a part that was from one of the movies. I loved it. It, like, felt like kind of getting like a cool cameo every single time that they did it. And every time it came up, I like, oh, this is so fucking cool. The voice acting was well done. I really, really enjoyed it. The stories were very well told, I thought. Obviously it's not without its, grievances, because there are some things in it that I was like, sure. But once I, like, got through the end of the second episode and was like, okay, so this is a cartoon. Like, and I don't mean that as, like, this is an animated show. I mean, like, they are making this a cartoon. It's a cartoon. And so, like, I just eventually just decided, after, like, getting through the second episode, I was like, I'm just going to suspend disbelief. So it's like, it's fine. Like, I get now what they're trying to do. And for the rest of my time watching it, I was like, sure, it's a fucking cartoon. Like, I don't want to sit here and expect too much from it, because it was reframing my mind that way sort of helped me sort of go into it more of a instead of being over analytical the way that we usually are with most Marvel content that we all love and enjoy and watch. I instead was kind of just like, I'm gonna treat this sort of like, instead of watching, I don't know, Star Wars Clone Wars, right? The animated spinoff of the Star Wars story. To me, it was more like watching the anthology show for Star Wars Visions. And it's sort of just being like, well, like, even if it's not canon, I can still kind of go into it enjoying it for like what it is. And for me, it hit. It hit. Every single story I genuinely fucking enjoyed and loved. And if they make it like super canon, where they start like throwing shit into live action stuff that was from the show, even better. Even better. The last thing I want to mention, Jeffrey Wright absolutely kills it as the Watcher. We talked about this off stream, but he is extravagant as the fucking Watcher. And the Watcher's character they made so interesting, and I was here for it every single step of the way. Every single step of the way.
I definitely agree with that. Jeffrey Wright, just always a phenomenal actor, and it was really cool seeing him kind of get more of a center stage in the sense because he was in every episode. With this, even with it just being a voiceover for animated, he still did chef's kiss.
So good. So good. And Jeffrey Wright, obviously, we know is just like a phenomenal fucking actor, like, period. In like every part. We talked about this too, but every single part he plays, he just fucking slays. Because he's never the main character. He just comes in for like 15 minutes and just kills it. What?
Every part he plays, he slays.
I'm also saying that Jeffrey Wright is right. He's the right choice. You know what I'm saying? that one was for you, Xander. That
you sound like a political marketer right now. Just like what's the worst tagline I can come up with for this guy based off of his name?
Jeffrey is the right choice. That's just big.
But right spelled the way his last name is spelled.
That's exactly it. So, guys, I have some questions for you guys. I want to kind of just open up for them here. Whoever can sound off first, more than welcome to. Firstly, what was your guys' favorite episode? Xander, go.
Doctor Strange Supreme.
Ooh.
Hands down, my favorite.
Yeah.
Because in my opinion, despite the previous episode, in my opinion, this was the darkest episode. And I've been wanting more dark content in the MCU. I may not look it, I may not sound it, but I'm a dark and brooding boy. Give me that shit.
I love that for you, Daddy.
I want like Daredevil and Punisher Netflix series. I fucking ate that up. All right, like I remember watching season 1 of The Punisher. It was like right around Thanksgiving. We're after Thanksgiving. I'm tearing down the turkey and everything. It's that scene where he's jamming his thumbs into that dude's eye or whatever. I'm doing the same thing into the turkey carcass. I'm like, oh, just I want more of that kind of stuff in the MCU. So like when I saw that and how that played out, I was just like, this is intense. We need more of this. And if that's any indication of what could come in the future of the MCU, I am so here for it.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Sound off? Anyone?
Or for me, what if Ultron won?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one was hype. That one was pretty hype. Yeah. Let's be real.
Yeah. That was also dark, extremely dark. Like, you think Thanos is bad?
That's one of my grievances. I will save that. I will save that for later. But yeah, I have an issue. I just want to.
You do that. I want to say that, but yeah, no. That episode front to back was just like it. Your jaw was dropped for like the first 7-10 minutes, and then something happens, and then you're like, oh. I didn't even think about this.
As one Devin, the 5-star man Stanford, would say, "Whoa,
yeah, whoa." Essentially, yeah. No,
yeah.
I had a whoa moment. So yes.
I love it. Genesee, what was your favorite episode?
My favorite episode would actually also have to be the Doctor Strange episode. I think the darkness of it probably also drew me in. But also the complexity of it. I felt like that episode they were able to fit in so much into such a short period of time without it feeling overwhelming. I mean, that episode for me was just beautifully done in terms of everything, like visually, content, dialogue, like everything was just was really, really a fun. I don't think fun is the right word for that episode, but it was an engaging episode. But a close second for me, like possibly tied, is the Captain Carter episode. I enjoyed the Captain Carter episode a lot.
It was so good. It was so good.
Dude, I just enjoyed Captain Carter. I mean, I don't
Same.
know about you. I don't know about y'all, but there's just
looking like a snack. Yeah.
there's just something about a woman that can twist me into a pretzel.
Yes, there is.
Retweet
You
to
said
that.
it.
Retweet to that. I'm saying. Yeah, I'm. A part of me sort of bounces back and forth between the Supreme Strange and the Ultron episode, because obviously I would venture to say, speak for all of us here, that those are probably the two best episodes of the show, right? Like,
I
creatively
have a different
speaking.
number too.
Oh, okay. We'll get into that here in a second. Okay.
Yeah.
They're like, these two episodes were extravagant. They were phenomenal, and they're phenomenal for different reasons. Where, like, for me, I would have to say Supreme Strange is also my favorite. But that's really just because, as Genesee was just saying, it's so complex, it's so emotionally driven, and as a certified sad boy would say, I don't even like saying that. I don't like saying that. People say that are like super edgelords. I don't like saying that. I take that back.
Yeah, no,
Ignore that
he
I
was-
said that. Yeah.
He was a broken
Yeah,
man.
he's just fuckboy status right now.
Yeah. No, it's
Now he is.
It's that episode is just so emotionally draining, because like you get to see this perspective of what Strange could have been if he had things even worse. And it's like, you know, it brings up a really, really cool dynamic of seeing where he is led into after the fact. And they did such a good job of portraying that emotion in a way that Marvel is so good at doing in everything else that they delivered to us. And this episode specifically was no different. Actually, we can probably dive into that. Second favorites. I can start off here since I'm already there. Ultron was my second favorite. That entire episode was just hype after hype after hype after hype. And Devin's right. I was like, whoa, like
That moment, this. Who's there?
Yeah. Oh, I was like, oh, that's fucking terrifying.
Wild.
That moment.
Yeah.
That's the whoa moment.
Yeah, dude. Oh my god, it was crazy. And then that episode I really enjoyed too, because that was sort of like the first time showing more focus on the Watcher himself as a character, and having him feel panicked and like desperate for being.
Don't spoil anything.
No, I know.
right
I'm not.
now.
There's no story beats here. But having him his character be portrayed the way that they did, and having it feel so visceral, was for what is the equivalent of a celestial being. He is up there with the power of obviously Ultron with fucking Infinity Stones. So it's like. Like there's a lot of stuff here that they show during this fucking episode that like it makes me really excited to talk about some predictions that we'll talk about after this. But that episode was a bopper. It was a bopper.
Yeah. And like the Watcher in general, like as a character who serves like in the show the role of narrator, he is throughout the entire show very like you feel drawn to him. You feel I felt very drawn to the Watcher throughout the whole show. Which is hard. That's hard to nail. It's hard to like really root for the narrator and the narrator that is like a celestial being that is like bigger than everybody. It's hard to be like, oh yes, please hold me, Watcher. But I wanted him to protect me.
Yeah.
It's Jeffrey Wright's voice. It's so calming. And
That's gonna
soothing.
say it's because Jeffrey is the right choice.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Xander's gonna leave. All right, y'all, I'm out.
All right. So
Mom, come pick me up.
my second favorite.
I'm scared.
My second favorite episode.
Okay.
Definitely T'Challa as Star-Lord.
I can totally see that for you. I can
Episode
totally
2,
see why that's the
episode
case.
2. What if the T'Challa became a Star-Lord. So yeah, that is definitely my favorite episode. It's just seeing the difference between T'Challa Star-Lord and Peter Quill Star-Lord was awesome. And like the things that he achieves throughout that, and like how they just lump it all in just like very casually, and they're all familiar faces too. It was very, very good. I enjoyed it. And T'Challa, very good Star-Lord. R.I.P. R.I.P.
Yeah, I was gonna say. So this show is the last piece of content that Chadwick Boseman was a part of. Rest in power, King. We love you, Wakanda, fucking forever, forever and ever. That the last episode is the actual last piece of content that Chadwick Boseman was on for Marvel before he passed away. So fucking bless him, bless his family, all the love to them for the unfortunate passing of the late Chadwick Boseman. And he killed it. He did a really, really good job voice acting in this. And it sounds like he was having so much fun.
Yeah.
So much fun in this show. And I'm fucking here for it. Xander, what was your second favorite episode?
So building on the dark and brooding, Fury's big week. That episode takes the second favorite for me.
Okay.
Because it builds on that idea of, one bad day.
Is that episode 3?
Yeah, the Mightiest Heroes.
Yes.
I think, he's trying to get the Avengers Initiative.
Yeah, that one I didn't expect. There's a twist. There's a twist at the end. And the fact that that Marvel pulled off a whodunit kind of episode, like a murder mystery, like this is awesome.
So good. So good, dude.
Like, and then when you find out who it is, you're just like, what?
Yeah.
And of all people?
And what that does for people, I think, with this What If episode, it made a character that a lot of people underestimate realize how strong this type of character is. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And with that leading forward, not going to say the name of it, but we have a movie that's coming out within the next 2 years that is relative to this.
Yes.
So just something to think about.
Dude, it's gonna be hype. It's gonna be hype. Genesee, what was your second favorite episode?
I already shared that. It was Captain Carter.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
That's a really good one. That's a really good one.
It is. I know.
Yeah.
I'm looking like, oh, fuck.
But T'Challa was also really close to that. Like honestly, like Doctor Strange, Captain Carter, and T'Challa are like just like a little
the top
pyramid for me of greatness.
Yeah.
For sure.
I loved them.
Sure.
I loved them. And then the rest of the show is just kind of like lumped on top of each other underneath the pyramid.
Just cluttered and on the ground fighting for
No,
Genesee's
that's fine.
Clutching on for dear life for that triangle.
Genesee, love us. Genesee, love us. Please. You're like, no, fool.
What's really cool about this?
Yeah.
What's really cool about this is we all have different things that we really like about the show. You know what I mean? So like it just shows you that this show can hit multiple different kinds of audiences. With its content.
I think it did that really well. Is it brought so many different like types of. I mean, it brought like different genres into one show.
Yep.
Like it brought different themes into one show, and like that it did really well.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And even just seeing here, like the spectrum of how much each of us individually liked it, which I think is kind of what Devin was kind of going for, is like we have a big spectrum between the four of us of how much we liked it, and that's rad. That's really rad. I love when things do that because we see that in movies a lot, like people that are like, critical of movies and such and doing what we do. There's a massive spectrum of people that love movies, but for the most part, we get big AAA movies, AAA games, AAA shows. And a lot of times people are like, oh, I loved it. And it's kind of the majority of that vocal. With this, I've heard tons of opinions on this show, tons of opinions. And Marvel, like, regardless of whether or not you really, really enjoyed it, no matter what, there's something to appreciate here. And that's sick. That's super fucking sick. Devin, thank you for kind of really diving into that too, because it's dope because Marvel's doing it. Marvel's doing the thing, man. They're just out here fucking working on it for us.
I have a theory as to why it is such a wide spectrum of enjoyment or, disappointment. Because I see this is a completely new form for the MCU.
Yeah.
Marvel's done animation in the past, but something that is considered canon to the mainline MCU. This is completely new ground for them. So I see this as a huge experiment, where each storyline has a different theme, a different genre of media, and they're like, okay, let's see what works. And obviously we have a season 2 coming, so they're probably going to take what they've learned from this and apply it to the next season. Especially because they popped open the new animation studio and everything, so it's all new stuff.
Yes, definitely from patreon.com/goodkrakenshow. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, not only that, a lot of this is a test to see what they could do live action and what would work in the coming movies and Disney Plus series. But before we get too far away from this, I do want to know, Ernell, what was your third favorite episode?
You guys don't want to know the answer to that. You don't want to know the answer.
No,
What
I
is
do.
it? Tell us how trashy you are, Ernell. Tell us.
Let's hear it. If you say what I think you're gonna say,
Tell me soft and tell me slow.
Party Thor was my third favorite episode of this show.
Actually, to be fair, that Ernell, I thought that episode was fun.
You.
I thought that episode was fun. It was just ridiculous.
See,
Go
ahead, Genesee. Go ahead.
I watched that episode knowing that Ernell had told me before that he thought I was going to like it. I was like, Ernell, who the fuck do you think I am? Watching it the whole time. I took it as a personal insult.
That episode was absolute trash.
Dude, it was okay, but here's
fun.
the deal though. It rides the fact that of what I was saying earlier is like once I just tuned into the fact that this is not live action MCU. This is a cartoon. I was like, I am just going to experience it as if I was a father watching a cartoon with my daughter. I enjoyed it on the level that I enjoy SpongeBob. I enjoyed it on the level that I enjoy watching Peppa Pig. How do you whistle episode? Because that is like the best piece of fucking content.
Put your
on the
lips
internet.
together and blow. Click.
It's so fucking good. I enjoyed that episode just because it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. Like, and even though it's ham-fisted and just way over the fucking top, and the quirkiness to it is so purposefully like cheesy and dumb, I was here for it. I was here for it the entire time. Also, how in the fucking world did they make Jane Foster look so much like Natalie Portman in this?
Yeah.
I was gonna say Darcy looking exactly like
Kat Dennings. Yeah, exactly. Like, holy shit, they fucking nailed it, my dude. Yeah. So that would be my third favorite. Last thing I want to bring up before we move into spoilers here is, can we talk about how rad it is that Marvel found a way to canonize an anthology show?
Yeah.
Can we talk about how fucking cool that is? Because that's
Marvel.
It's genius.
Yeah.
It's genius. Genesee, go ahead. Sorry.
No, Marvel is just like off the rails, not in a bad way, but they took the train and they were like, you know what, we're in the multiverse now. We can do whatever we want. We've dreamed up a new track. Like they don't care about anyone or anything, and I love it. It's really great. They're doing crazy shit.
It's funny you say that, because it's almost like I view Marvel kind of like that crazy kid in high school that's like always mumbling to himself and stuff like that, and you accidentally overhear what he's saying. It just sounds batshit crazy, but then you think about it and like, wait, that kind of makes sense. Hold up.
You didn't need to call me out like that, Xander.
Sorry, my bad.
There's peanut butter in the car lot. There's peanut butter in the car lot. I can't believe there's peanut butter in the car lot. Went to Subway the other day and she looked at me wrong. And then he runs down the hall. He's Naruto running down the hallway with a rolly backpack and like a duster, like leather trench coat.
No, not even that. When you least expect it, he pops on his Heelys, just like fucking.
Oh, jeez.
Okay, yeah. Heelys, though.
Healy, okay. Last thing before we go there. I had one of my employees. when I was managing journeys, one of my employees, Tanner, he sometimes watches the show. Hi, Tanner, I love you. He purposely bought Heelys so that he could roll up to customers to go help them. And
I feel like Naomi told me that story.
Did it work? Did it work?
It worked, my dog.
Did you guys start selling Heelys?
Yeah, dog.
Do not underestimate the power of Heelys, okay? That is how I got my first girlfriend in middle school.
I always wanted a pair, but never got one because I was poor.
I was at a birthday party. I had my Heelys on. I saw her. She was over by the cake, and I just went, shh. You want to share a slice?
Oh my god! Can we also talk about how perfect it is too? Because Heelys, like in the Asian demographic, was really prominent, and I can see Xander just being hella beautifully Asian, just sliding up, just
emo hair and all. Just like,
how
you
much
listen
better
from first to last?
How
you like My Chemical Romance?
How much better is it that Xander physically manifested sliding into DMs? Incredible.
I love that.
Incredible. And now,
honestly, the second you said sliding up to someone in Heelys with emo hair, I was like, oh shit, it's a really good thing I didn't know you. Because that was my type. Shit.
Just in Heelys. Heelys are your type.
Heelys, the emo hair. Yeah, My Chemical Romance. You have no idea how many nights of my 13 to 18-year-old life I spent in my friends' rooms watching them play video games while they were like with their fucking hair. And I was just like, can I hold your lime green tie, please?
I love this visual of Genesee sitting in her friend's bedroom while they're chain smoking cigarettes in the basement. And Genesee's got her headphones in, listening, smiles and her laughter is the only thing that I've been waiting for. And Genesee's like, yes, I'm Emily. I'm Emily.
Xander, clip it.
I fucking love it. Anyways, now with that said, we're going to slide into spoiler mode right now. Let's fucking go. No way. Let's go.
Let's go.
So guys, please, if you have not watched the show or if you care about spoilers, please eject yourself from this show right now. We love you. Go watch the show. Come back. Hang out with us again. This will be here available on podcasts and video services everywhere. Please get out. We love you. Come back and fuck around afterwards. If you do not care, or if you have watched the show, stick around. Let's fucking talk. Let's fucking talk, my friends. You know what I'm saying?
Party.
Oh my God. Xander really did clip it.
What does that mean?
So you can take a snippet of what just happened live and you can save it on the profile. And Xander has a habit of taking clips of us acting fucking fools and making montages of it.
Aside from being GK's graphics and animation wizard, I'm also moderator extraordinaire.
It's fucking incredible. It's incredible. Guys, let's start out here. We're going to kind of zoom through these. We'll treat this the way that we did Loki review. We'll kind of go a little bit into the main plot of each episode individually, give some quick thoughts, and then move on to the next episode. So, first off, episode 1, we have What If Captain Carter were the first Avenger? This is a story about Peggy Carter actually becoming Captain what was that? Captain Britain, technically. In the comics, the Peggy becomes Captain Britain instead of Steve Rogers becoming Captain America, and we get that canonized instead. Talks basically about Peggy living out Steve Rogers' fucking story. Basically, with some small differences. Steve Rogers.
I mean, honestly, if you've seen the first Captain America movie, you've kind of seen the first episode of What If.
To an extent.
Yeah.
Some things are a little bit different, but
it's a different type of hot. Yeah. Shit! What did I do?
Oh, what'd you do?
I don't know. Okay, I'm back.
You're still here.
I'm back.
You're here, and we can
You're
still
here.
hear
We can
you.
see you. We can see you. We can hear you. Everything is fine. Everything is fine.
I'm on other channels on Discord now, so we're adding danger to the fire.
Oh,
I know.
Genesee's in there. Look at that.
I have friends.
Oh my god, I'm excited for you. I'm excited for you. Guys, what were our spoiler-filled thoughts of episode 1? What if Captain Carter were the first Avenger? Go.
They did Bucky dirty.
Yeah.
Captain
Ooh,
Carter
they
Those
did
is
do
my
one-liners,
daddy.
bro. Those stupid one-liners, bro. I'm like, dude, shut up. In the
Okay.
MCU, he's one of my favorites. But like in this, I was like, dude, shut up.
Okay, but wasn't Bucky kind of just stupid one-liners in First Avenger?
No. Shut up, Ernell.
Shut your dirty mouth.
If anything, Steve was stupid one-liners in the first Captain America.
love-
This whole day. Yeah, we get it.
That's fair.
I love Chris Evans as Steve Rogers, but yeah, sometimes he really be stupid. Like sometimes it's like we don't need to hear you talk. Just look pretty.
That is America's ass.
Yes, I liked that.
He did
I have
get
that
better.
shirt.
Yeah. Oh,
I
you
have
do?
that
That's
shirt.
right.
See, I like the ass. I didn't like him pointing it out. When he pointed it out, I was like, okay, not my cat.
Oh,
Not
get
my cat.
fucked, dude. That was like one of the
Fuck
best parts of
off.
that fucking movie. You kidding me?
It was.
He's like, damn, that
It
is
was.
America's
I was
ass.
for that
Oh,
one.
come on.
No,
That was
that
such
was-
a good
that was a
payoff.
good part.
Yeah,
It was
a good
good.
payoff.
No, but
Yeah,
but
so
Bucky just that was my biggest gripe.
They did do Bucky dirty. What you got, Genesee? I see.
I
something.
feel like one of the biggest qualms I have with the show overall is that they took people who were not voice actors and they had them voice acting. I'm not sure if that was like super relevant in this episode, but like throughout there were just so many parts where I was like, the way that they were talking was just super stale.
Right.
And I didn't like that. That's probably one of my biggest critiques of the show overall is that it did get hard to watch at points because like especially like those one-liner things, like they just didn't hit because we weren't dealing with voice actors. We were dealing with like people who were the character in the movie and that didn't translate over into voice.
For sure. I mean, I would say that Haley Atwell did fairly okay playing as Peggy Carter.
I think
as
she
a
did.
voice-
I think
voice
yeah.
actor.
I think she
I
did
think
good.
she did all right.
It was
I think she
every-
was
she
one
did
of the
all
best
right.
ones.
It was everyone else.
Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah.
It was everyone else. I think she did well. Doctor Strange
Dum-dum
did well.
Yeah,
Dum-dum
Benedict
Dugan.
Cumberbatch.
But Benedict Cumberbatch, like he's not a voice actor, but he's basically a voice actor.
His
Yeah,
voice
because
fit.
he plays
like
a
Smaug.
dragon.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he did Smaug.
yeah.
He did the Grinch recently.
Yeah.
So he's not unfamiliar to this terrain.
Jeffrey Wright killed it too.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Of course.
Absolutely.
because he was the right choice.
Garrick.
I mean, Smaug. Oh, hey, Gary.
Oh,
is in the
Gary.
chat. Tilda Swinton actually did the voice for Ancient One.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
Tilda Swinton. That was dope.
That's right.
That's super dope. John Favreau
Now-
is obviously very used to this sort of stuff, but he was still happy in
Yeah.
the show too. Like, there's a lot of them were actually still around.
Chris Hemsworth was Thor.
Yes, Hemsworth was Thor.
I think that's what also made me hate Party Thor even more. The fact that
Oh,
it still
God
was
damn
Chris
it, man.
Hemsworth.
God
And I'm
damn
just
it,
like
man.
imagining Chris Hemsworth being a immature little douchebag.
Can we
the entire
skip
fucking
to
thing.
that episode really quick just to get it over with? Because that episode.
I'm not leading, Ernell.
You want to jump into the next episode? Well,
Yes, I think we're just all ready to just like fucking.
Can I say one thing about episode one
I
real
was going
quick?
to say Devin raised his hand. Let's let Devin go.
Oh
Yeah.
yes.
I
Sorry,
loved
Devin.
how when it came to fighting Red Skull at the end of that episode is how they were trying to actually summon a demon to help
Yeah.
them, and then those tentacles, how we all thought it was Sheba Gorath, you know, and then we
Which is
find
not
out
confirmed.
Yeah, it's not confirmed, but we find out something later that is very relevant to that. You know, I just wanted to say I love how they put that continuity right there. I would love to see some expansion also off of the end of the episode of Peggy Carter taking the place of Loki, showing up at the beginning of the Avengers movie. You know,
Yeah.
at that shield facility that originally Loki appeared and killed everybody and grabbed the Tesseract. But instead,
would be
it's
interesting
Peggy
to see.
Carter being there.
Yeah.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
That would be
Although
sick.
it could very well just be she gets picked up by the TVA. on that one.
Yeah.
Because you remember we
Yeah.
still have that scene where they did say they confirmed that it was in fact Peggy Carter coming into the TVA in the background.
Oh,
They confirmed that.
I thought they said
Yeah.
it wasn't at
No,
first.
from last I read, they confirmed that. So that could be something. But I would say on Red Skull, can we put some respect on Red Skull? Like
Instantly
Yeah.
dead.
he did.
Yeah.
like straight up, he fucking dead. Like, like, and I guess I attribute it to like back when I was still like buying comics on a semi-regular basis. I was right around like the Red Onslaught series where he like fuses himself with like Charles Xavier, or was it Charles Xavier or Magneto or some shit, and he's just like this, like there was a lot to Red Skull, but he's kind of used as like a B-list villain in most of the MCU.
Yeah.
But that could change now because now we have infinite multiverses. So like I was telling Ernell,
multiverse.
Yeah. And actually I'll go in if you guys are done with this episode, we can go into episode 2 right here.
Yes.
Because what I want to say works with this right now.
So episode 2, what if T'Challa became Star-Lord? We get a version of Star-Lord, aka Peter Quill, instead being T'Challa, Black Panther from Wakanda. Basically same story, except a little bit of minor changes how T'Challa is taken by Yondu and brought into space and raised by them, and actually get a version of Star-Lord if he that's I fucking thought was hilarious, if Star-Lord actually became tight. People loved him, and he was actually well known. I died having this contrast to like Black Star-Lord actually being beloved across the universe is so amazing. Because that first dude, I forget his name off the top of my head, where he's like, "Who are you?"
Zoo?
Yes.
Commander Zoo?
Yeah.
Is that his name? Is that right?
Straight up leaves his position to go with Star-Lord.
Yeah, when he's like, "Who are
you?"
you?" and he's like, "You can call me Star-Lord," and he's like, "Oh my god, I fucking knew it was you!"
You're not worthy.
Can I fight you? He's like, "Can I fight you, please? Can you beat my ass?"
So Devin, what
literally what happens.
What are your thoughts on this episode? We'll start with you here, my
Okay, all right. First, this is when the MCU comedy came in. Was this episode? You know what I mean? Sure. This is when we got that. Also, the whole "can you kick my ass" part, hilarious, and how he takes them with him, and he's like, this guy wants to join. What do you think? You know what I mean?
Punch me, daddy.
Yeah. Now, a long time ago, Ernell, when we started talking about them, we started talking about the multiverses. I told you that they're planning on bringing Thanos back throughout the MCU. And you said, no, that character is tired. They don't need to do it anymore. They brought him back in What If with Josh Brolin. But Josh Brolin has also said that he's excited to do more roles in the MCU outside of this. So involving Thanos. So I want this to be on record that you are going to see live action Thanos again.
If we get more than 5 more minutes of Thanos, I swear to fucking God, Devin. I swear to fucking God. I will blame you for speaking this into existence.
And guess what? He's not going to be a villain. He's going to be an Avenger. That's what's going to happen.
No,
I'm with you. I'm with you, Devin.
Because it's in the comics, and it's going to be for like a one movie type of thing. Because I'm pretty sure he's part of the Avengers during Secret Wars.
He is in the comics, yes, but like there's so much takeaway that they move away from the comics. Like
I'm on team Thanos being a hero.
Look at what Garrick just said.
Garrick says, "Well, Kang is notoriously afraid of Thanos. Literally,
we're building up to Secret Wars. I'm saying it right now for all of you. That's what's going to happen."
Yeah.
Xander, what's your reply to this? Hold on, real quick, because Xander has a contrast here that's the opposing this. After this, we'll go to Genesee. What are your thoughts?
It's very simple. It's very simple. I don't want it.
But
I don't
it's also
want it.
very simple that if they pull from source material, that's probably what's going to happen.
They only kind of half pull from source material, though.
I
You
know,
what
Yeah,
but
they really
that's
do.
what I'm saying. But Josh Brolin loves being Thanos, and he's already said he's going to do more
Fuck
outside
that.
of
Just
what
bring
if.
him in as
Thank you,
Cable.
Garrick.
Leave it at that.
Thank you, Garrick. Less Thanos, more Cable. That's what I need.
Yeah.
More Cable from
I'm
Bring him
just
in as
telling
Cable.
you,
I don't want
they will.
Thanos.
It's fucking Disney. They're going to capitalize on that shit.
Genesee, what do you got on this? What was your fucking thought on this bullshit?
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I loved the T'Challa episode. I really love him as Star-Lord. Not just Chris Pratt suck, but I'm not a Chris Pratt bro. I'm sorry, but
if I may, thank you for getting us back on track. Continue.
You're welcome. But I don't like the like frat bro, party bro, being a superhero vibe. We have too many of them. Just stop it. Just stop it. Star-Lord, Chris Pratt Star-Lord is fucking uninteresting to me. Tony Stark, uninteresting to me. Same reason why Thor's party boy thing, uninteresting to me. I'm tired of it. Especially because we spent like over a fucking decade building up these actual like three-dimensional superheroes that are so fucking interesting, and then we have these motherfuckers. So not about it. Then you bring in T'Challa as Star-Lord, and I was like, yes, Star-Lord didn't have to be a douchebag. He could have been fucking awesome and good looking.
And gave us his fault. Fuck you, Peter Quill. Anyways.
I fucking hate Peter Quill. I'm gonna say it. I fucking hate Peter Quill. I fucking hate Star-Lord.
God damn.
I
Jesse, I wish he would fucking die in a garbage can.
literally, of all the fucking people that we've killed, we're not killing this motherfucker. Anyway, it's fine. It's fine.
Anyways, go on.
And that's also one of the most prominent love stories that we have through the MCU, where we like actually see them like get together and have like lover quarrels and shit, is him and Gamora. And Gamora is too fucking good for him. Jesus Christ. Anyway, not the point. I'm angry. The point is that I feel like this episode also had one of the most like important what ifs, and like one of the like most like interesting what ifs to me. And it was not just what if T'Challa had become Star-Lord, but if T'Challa becomes Star-Lord, then what if Thanos had an intervention? Literally, it was like within his what if, it was what if somebody just had a nice, like meaningful, level-headed conversation with Thanos? Like, what if he just got to talk to T'Challa at a younger age? And then we have, like, a totally different Thanos that makes sense. And also, like, he has a line, fucking Thanos does, where he goes, I stand by the fact that this was a problem, but I understand genocide was not the answer. And I was like, that was, like, literally what every forum said, basically, was like, we get where Thanos is coming from. Overpopulation is whack, but, like, maybe not kill people?
Yeah.
What you got?
And
what do you got?
I just want to say, every time he said that, he'd be like, but I still think it's a good idea. And every time he did that, all the characters like involved in the conversation, they just look at him. They're like, seriously? Really? I love that. And that kind of falls in. What I was saying is this episode is the first time that we got the MCU humor. You know what I mean? In the series. And I felt like that really shined along with this, because I mean, that's kind of like what the Guardians of the Galaxy are about. But you notice how like Thanos was a part of the Guardians of the Galaxy in this? You know what I mean? It's just, I liked it.
Yeah. Xander, let's
Can we
hear from
also
you really
talk
quick.
about-
I want to zoom through the rest of these really fast. We got about 35 minutes left. Xander.
I really wanted to touch on one thing.
Okay.
We need to have a blonde Nebula in the live action version.
I'm saying.
Man, she was out there looking like a Bond girl. Like, I was just like,
Wait, blonde Nebula or blonde Gamora?
Blonde
Nebula.
Yeah.
Bro, I was like, and like just like her banter, and I was just entranced, and I had to remind myself I was watching this with my wife. I'm like, oh, sorry.
Karen Gillan did voice her.
Well,
right?
what I was gonna say is Karen Gillan already looked like a snack when she's not Nebula. And
Oh,
kind of when
I
she is
love
Nebula,
her.
I'm just like, you know what I mean? I just don't like Nebula as a
Right?
Gunpowder
character, so
milkshake.
it's like, yeah. Gunpowder milkshake,
Yeah.
looking like a tall fucking beauty. I'm telling you. Episode 3. What if the world lost its mightiest heroes? We get an entire montage episode of Nick Fury having just the worst fucking week of his fucking life. And it's just Avengers characters dying left and fucking right. It is a big murder mystery deal, and they did a fucking good job of doing that. And then we get the big old twist at the end, finding out that Hank Pym as the Wasp, right? I'm assuming the Wasp or was
Yellow
it
Jacket.
Yellow Jacket? Yeah,
Yellow
Yellow
Jacket.
Jacket. There we go. As Yellow Jacket has been going around killing everybody because Hope was killed working for Shield. Genesee, let's hear from you first. What do you got? What are your thoughts on this?
I enjoyed it. Something that I really enjoyed about this episode was that I feel like throughout all of the Marvel movies and especially the Avengers movies, we're sitting here like, okay, so they all have these like wild superpowers, and then like Hawkeye and Black Widow are out here just like raw dogging life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we're all
Yeah,
thinking it.
sure.
But like they're going up against fucking aliens with their bow and arrow and their like knives.
Yeah.
And they come out every time like kicking ass. But like I feel like this like did it was super great because they were I can't remember when Hawkeye died in this, but Black Widow was like the last to die. And it's like, well, you like she is a fucking assassin. Like this is what she does is like not only kill people but also not get killed is like a really important part of that.
Well, also
And-
going along the plot, like the storyline of it all, pretty early on, like just after the death of Tony Stark, she was locked up essentially. Well, presumed locked up, and then Nick Fury kind of like gave her like, hey, okay, you have some time to like, I'm gonna let you run free real quick. So I assume at that point Hank Pym was under the impression that he had taken care of Natasha by getting her locked up by pinning
I
the
don't
death
think
of Tony
so
Stark on.
because she was locked up for like 2 seconds.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm saying from Hank Pym's standpoint, like he was under the impression that she was still locked.
Right.
And then cut to Hawkeye. He was framed for the death of Thor.
But also, yeah, because the bow and arrow thing, right?
Yep.
Right. And then him basically dying like in that jail cell. And they were like,
That was dark.
yeah, oh, dude. Especially finding out how he died when they
Yeah.
show Hank, like, ooh, oh, Jesus Christ. Because fucking A, man. Like,
Yeah.
Devin,
I made the mistake of watching that with my daughter.
oh no. Oh
Yeah.
no. Oh no. No.
And I'll get to that in a little bit. But Devin, you go.
Yo, watching the Hulk die too.
I was gonna say this part was fucking sick because
Yeah.
they reanimated that scene of the last Hulk movie, like very much like confirming canonization of that movie outside of the fact of him coming back as Abomination. Fuck yes, dude. Fuck yes. Continue. Sorry. Go ahead. I loved it.
That
Just
made me cringe.
The way they made him die too, and how he was all over everybody too. It was, just the implosion.
Hold on. Was that the part you're saying made you cringe, Genesee?
No, but not in like a like oh that was weird, but like in a like I felt physically ill, like how like not like that kind of no like an actual like I don't think I've ever been that grossed out by a cartoon before. I was like this is.
Oh, you don't watch anime then, so.
I don't. That's true.
My only problem that I had with that part was that is literally the way every single one of us were saying, why can't they just do that to Thanos? And they did it in this. Like why can't they just have
the
Paul
initial
Rudd?
idea with Thanos was
That was both like what I felt like was an inconsistency, but also like the best consistency throughout this whole series is that the second you start to think, well, why didn't you just do this to the other guy? You're reminded that you're in a multiverse. So the circumstances in which every situation
fair.
happens are actually incredibly important.
Fair.
And if something else had happened, then you'd just be in a different multiverse.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Devin, continue. Sorry.
And then the show makes sense.
And drop.
We jumped
I mean,
to Naughty
that
Devin.
just totally like explains the title of the show. What if, right?
Yeah,
So
no, 100%. You're right. You're right.
Yeah. Watching that happen, and then so that was the big one for me. But the ending,
So hype. So hype,
Yes.
dude. Oh my god, Hank Pym getting his ass beat. Let's go.
by Loki.
By fucking Loki and Nick Fury.
Yeah.
Oh, let's go, dude.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
So fucking
Yeah.
hype, dude.
I
Honestly,
love
seeing animated Samuel L. Jackson do that fucking flip though. Even though we know it was Loki, but like just imagine. I was imagining Sam Jackson just like being like limber as fuck, and he's like, "What up, motherfucker?" Like,
I mean,
and the
he's
look
winning
on
it.
Hank Pym's face when he's fighting him, and he's like, "Wait, what the fuck?" You know
Yeah.
what he's like?
Yeah.
Wait a second, you know?
Dog, Loki being
Yeah.
like, get fucking work, son. Get
And
this
when-
fucking work.
When Hank Pym
Yep.
went tiny and rushed at him, and like Loki saw him and just like punched him to the ground. I was just
Yeah.
like,
Oh, so
this
good,
fool
dude.
getting smacked.
So
and Loki
good,
was
dude.
out for blood. He's like, "You killed my fucking brother." You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude, I fucking love it. I love it. Xander, what are your thoughts? I want us to get us moving on here. We're taking a little bit too long.
So just a couple things. One thing that I wanted to point out with the Hulk was then because this is one of the few episodes that I actually watched multiple times. And one thing that already you guys know this about me, I don't do well with body horror. But they took it up even further with the Hulk's death, where there's that small glimpse where it zooms in, or like there's a close up of his eyes, and you can tell like Hulk, Bruce is there, and he's like basically he's crying for help, just like oh no, like just like. And like at that moment, I'm I know it's comedic, it's funny, but I'm like, oh god,
Yeah.
oh no, and then
Yeah.
just like a fucking zit, like oh no.
Oh god.
And
you had to put
I
it in
felt
that
so
context.
bad.
Oh Jesus.
and I felt so bad because I was watching it with my daughter because obviously we saw the first two episodes and they weren't nearly as dark. So I'm like, okay, yeah, she can watch it with us, whatever. And Hulk is one of her favorites. Anytime she sees the Hulk, she's just like, oh, Hulk, I love Hulk. Like,
no.
like, yeah.
Oh
And she's
no.
like, what happened? I'm like, and I had to sit there and explain to a 5-year-old quantum mechanics. I'm sitting there explaining like multiversal theory to her.
You know what? That's how I was brought up, and I turned out just fine. So your daughter's gonna be a-okay.
I don't think any of
Maybe
us
I'm
turned
not
out
an
just fine.
example for that.
I don't think any of us turned out just fine. Let's be real here.
But also one thing
That is
about this
true.
episode that I want to point out that I've been seeing trend on social media, talking about basically the end scene when they return the Guardians of the Multiverse. There's a moment where people are like, "Oh, is this how?" And we'll touch on it later. But is this how they're gonna bring back this character into the MCU, a previously known dead character? And I'm like, no. If you pay attention to that whole scene, this is building off of the end of Fury's Big Week, where
Oh, Genesee turned off her camera. Oh no.
but
Genesee
it,
disappeared.
it builds off of the ending of Fury's Big Week because there's a fight scene. There's Loki, and Loki mentions, to Fury, you thought your alternate Avengers would save you, and the two prominent Avengers that you see are Captain America and Captain Marvel, two characters that were hinted at being the quote unquote alternate Avengers at the end of Fury's Big Week. So no, I do not think that what people are saying on the internet right now, oh, they're gonna bring back this character, not gonna happen, especially after the lawsuit. But
Yeah. Agreed. With that said, let's kind of zoom. Let's zoom through these. Let's keep our thoughts really
Boom,
tight here.
boom.
Episode 4. What if Doctor Strange lost his heart instead of his hands? This talks about his ex, Christine Palmer, not having had left him, and he actually has a loving, thriving relationship with him. And instead of breaking his hands and fucking up his hands in a car accident, he instead loses her. and what that would end up turning into. He tries time and time again to go to Camertage, get his abilities, and use those abilities to try to eventually find a way to bring back Christine. And it is a heartbreaking fucking episode. Heartbreaking episode. Xander, let's actually, no, you know what, Genesee, let's start with you for this one. Like I said, let's try to keep the thoughts tight going forward so we can kind of get through the rest of these. But Genesee, what are you thinking?
One, I fucked so hard with Doctor Strange. He is the exception to my frat boy policy. I love him. I love Benedict Cumberbatch. Actually, like, I think if we really got into it, Doctor Strange really feeds into my daddy issues because he is like a super like hardcore like scientist man who's gonna tell you you're stupid. Like he's just gonna come out and be like, you're dumb. And like Doctor Strange, so here we are. But this episode, I feel like I love it not just because I fuck so hard with Doctor Strange, but it for me did the exact opposite of what Loki did, or this episode did what Loki thought it was doing. Well, no, not that. Although
no fucking alligators.
They're really playing with that in this fucking show. Like, Marvel right now is just like right in that line, and I'm like, can we please stop trying to have sex with versions of ourselves, please? Anyways. There's so many people in the multiverse, and they just can't stop having sex with versions of. Wasn't there a line in one of these fucking episodes that was like, "Oh, it's just me by a different name" or some shit? And I was like, "What are you pulling? Keep it in your pants."
Anyways, continue.
Anyway, no. The point that I was trying to make is that what Loki thought it was doing was like show us a character that was both like hero and anti-hero, right? And it thought that it was making Loki like that it was doing that successfully. While I did like Loki, they didn't sell it for me. Like they didn't sell that the Loki that we saw in 2012 earned that story. And we have a whole episode on that. Doctor Strange earned his fucking story in this 30-minute fucking episode, for me at least, because we see Doctor Strange, I mean, we already know he's a volatile motherfucker. So it checks out that, like, if he saw the love of his life die, he would go fucking wild.
Yeah.
So that holds up. But then you see that split second where he could have decided to either go back in time and try to save her and, like, you know, go full on into Octopus Guy, or he just decides to stay in his fucking chair and not do anything. And I was like, wow, that to me, it made so much sense. It made so much sense that those Doctor Stranges were the same person in the same second, and they both earned that story. That same Doctor Strange in that 1 second could be the one that becomes what's his name? The Octopus Doctor Strange?
Oh,
Strange
Supreme Shrine.
Strange Supreme. Thank you. It could be him, or it could be like this Doctor Strange that's trying to save the universe, wants to like rein in Strange Supreme so that it doesn't destroy everything, you know? And that was so powerful to me, and I fucked with it so hard.
Sick.
Yeah.
Sick. Xander, what were your thoughts on this episode?
I'm gonna keep to 3 major points. One, this was in fact my favorite episode simply because it felt like the only episode that was well thought out through and through. In my opinion, I think from start to finish, the writing was impeccable. Everything about it was just on the money. The second point was the fact that it establishes a new rule to this whole time travel multiverse theory stuff that the MCU is doing, and it introduces absolute points, just like how Loki introduced Nexus events. So that is going to be something that we're going to have to keep with us going forward. Try and keep that in the back of our heads in case something else some other multiversal event happens. Speaking of multiversal events, I think I have a theory. I have a theory that this episode, establishing the character of Doctor Strange Supreme, could in fact be connected to not only Spider-Man No Way Home and Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. I have a theory that somehow Doctor Strange Supreme could in fact show up in one or both of those movies.
I could see it. I could see it.
I could see it too. Yeah.
I could see it. Devin, what you got for us?
I mean, with that being said, like my theory based off of that is maybe that's the one who gives Peter his one more day.
Oh,
You know
you're
what I
thinking
mean?
maybe that is Strange Supreme that's actually doing this?
Yeah.
Ooh.
There's not a lot else I can say about that besides the unknown demon or entity that he somehow envelops also has the same tentacles that we see in episode 1 with Captain Carter. You know, that's the one tie-in that we saw. That's the first time we saw a tie-in within the episodes of the series.
Yeah.
I feel like.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Okay. And we have What If Zombies? This talks about if the entire world got a virus that was brought in from Janet Van Dyne, his Hank Pym's ex-wife that was stuck in the quantum realm, comes out with a carried virus that comes from the quantum realm and infects the entire planet, including the Avengers. Devin, let's start with you. What are your thoughts on this one, my guy?
I like the idea of the way it happens. I really do. It works. It definitely works. For me, the episode had no resolution at all. And I felt like a lot of the characters were acting way, way more dumb than they actually are.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah.
And like these people are supposed to be super geniuses. You know what I mean? Like figuring out time travel and quantum physics and traveling throughout the galaxy, and they can't
They're all
figure this
eaten
out.
by zombies.
Yeah, like I love the concept of zombies. I would love to see a fleshed out version of it, but I feel like this was supposed to be a fan service episode that ended up extremely lacking.
Sure. Genesee, what were your thoughts on this one?
I hated this episode.
Xander, what were your thoughts on this one? Is that all you got, Genesee? You just
That's literally all I got, Xander. It's all you. It's all you.
So I second that. I absolutely hated this episode, simply because I'm familiar with the Marvel Zombies storyline. I remember them saying early on that the What If Zombies episode was going to stay the truest to the source material than any other storyline that they're adopting into this What If anthology series. That's bullshit. The only thing that they kept true was at one point they turned into zombies. They did the laziest bullshit and add quantum in front of virus, just making it seem, oh, look at it, quantum virus. Fuck off. The biggest gripe I had was the moment between Bucky and Zombie Cap. That something like that,
It should have
even if it's not even pulled from Marvel Zombies, if it's just for this, from what we know about Bucky and Steve, that should have been a much more heart-wrenching moment that I just did not give a shit about.
Yeah.
Like I saw that, I'm like, and then again another Bucky one-liner when he kills him. Like I was like, really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
And then Scott Lang looking like fucking like out of Futurama, just like a fucking head in a jar. And then they decide to put the cloak on. Get the fuck this shit was stupid. And then the twist at the end where Vision is chopping up bodies, feeding it to zombie Wanda. No, not for me. Not my Marvel Zombies.
I loved this episode.
Of course you did, Ernell.
I loved this episode. Like, it's not my favorite. Like, it does have some grievances that I have with it, but I really liked this episode. It obviously, like, again, I suspended disbelief. I was like, yeah, none of this makes any goddamn sense. None of the decisions they're making make any goddamn sense. My biggest grievance with this episode, though, was that they had the opportunity to show that they could do horror and they failed. That was my grievance with it. It was like going into what we know about what they're planning on doing in like Multiverse of Madness. I was like, this could be it. This could be the one that they go into and they give us a really cool horror story, and it flopped. It fucking flopped.
Yeah, if anything, the previous 2 episodes were much more horror related than this one.
Yeah, Devin, what's up?
I just thought of something. What if we see zombie Wanda go against them?
Predictions will be after. Let's do predictions after. Okay.
I will say.
Hold on to that. Hold on to that.
Mention this.
I don't want to see the zombies ever come back ever.
I do want to mention
this.
They were
this
already
in Spider-Man.
This was the first time in MCU canon that they name drop Uncle Ben.
Yep.
Yeah.
That is true.
In the worst fucking episode.
Yeah.
Sounds like it's not as bad as he thought it was then. Anyway, let's move to the next one. What if Killmonger rescued Tony Stark? We get a thing where in the beginning of Iron Man, Tony Stark is, instead of having to survive from the 10 rings, is actually rescued by Killmonger himself, aka N'Jadaka, and is brought into this. Instead of becoming Iron Man, N'Jadaka himself becomes a personal warrior, personal protector for Tony Stark. Genesee, go ahead.
I have an issue with this episode. I did not hate the episode, but I do have an issue with the fact that they basically made Killmonger exactly the same. He is basically exactly the same. Mm-hmm. They could have done anything they wanted with him, and they made him a villain again. And I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all.
Yeah,
I really liked that. I really liked that.
That's why I didn't like the episode, because I wanted to see a King Black Panther hero. Yeah. I wanted them to bring him back into the fold in the MCU.
Same.
You know what I mean? And this just kind of ruined that hope for me. But yeah.
If I may, I want to talk just very briefly. I really liked that they did this because he's the only character they did that with. He's the only main character in this that they said, no, not all the time are things different in the multiverses. Sometimes they're consistently a piece of shit. And we saw that with Loki. And he's the only other character that really they kind of showed that consistency. And now they're showing it was not beholden to Loki. It was also beholden to other characters in the MCU, including Killmonger. And I thought that was a very interesting dynamic that they presented in this, where it's like, yeah, he's still a scheming little fuckface. And he's obviously worthy of that title, considering everything that he does in this damn show. I thought it was a very interesting take that they did that. Sorry, Devin.
It could
go
also
ahead, though, if you want to continue.
It could also pose a question, though. What if who they're destined to be, certain characters, is an absolute point?
Exactly my point. That is exactly it. Because now we start talking into what if all the characters aren't consistently completely different across the universes? We have characters that are absolute points. And that's an interesting dynamic, because then we start talking about Doctor Strange. Is he having a situation where he's consistently the same person across those things? And then we start talking about how Wanda is God, what is the fucking phrase for it? She's a nexus being. And she is one single soul entity across all the multiverses. Obviously, with the exception of the zombies thing, which I guess, a little bit of weirdness.
Yeah, I'm gonna need further explanation on that one, because that I didn't understand that.
Yeah. Devin, did you have more on your thoughts? Sorry, go ahead.
No. I just wanted to see a good King Black Panther. That's it.
Sure. Xander, did you have any further thoughts on this one?
Just the one fact that the one thing I actually did like about this episode was the kind of meta moment where they brought in Michael B. Jordan's true nature as being an anime lover. When he's showing his his diagram to or his blueprints
The
to
Gundam mobile
Tony.
suit.
Yeah. Which there's another one in the finale that I want to touch on. I don't know if you guys noticed that, but we'll touch on that when we get there.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. I think I know what you're talking about. Next episode, what if Thor were an only child? We get an episode fully of Thor not having Loki as a brother, and that turns him into a little fucking shithead only child growing up to be an absolute fucking loser, and his mom Frigga fucking hates it. And he comes down to Earth, and he turns Earth into one massive fucking frat party.
Galaxy frat party.
Yeah.
Galactic frat party.
Devin, I want to start with you here, my dude. What do you got on this?
All right. First off, we never said this show was good. Okay.
Facts. We never did.
I think Ernell did, actually.
Same concept comes to this episode, but I had fun with it. It had its some comedic moments, and I don't know why, but I like that cartoon moment of Captain Marvel and Thor tossing each other around the planet. It's like, because if you think about it, they are
like Animaniacs, like
yeah,
style.
but they are super strong beings in the galaxy, you know. And it that moment kind of put this in my head. I'm like, holy shit. What if they did fight? What would that actually look like if they were super serious about it? Because that was kind of like joking around, like, oh, I'm getting slightly irritated, I'm just going to punch you really hard. You know what I mean? Because they're both almost indestructible. Almost. You know? I mean, we already know that Thor can fight the Hulk no problem and get hit by Hulk's craziest haymaker and still like get up and be like, oh, fuck. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so like the same goes for Captain Marvel. That moment just started making me think about, what if they actually fought? Like, what would that look like? It would destroy planets. It really would.
Yeah.
You know?
And it didn't destroy a planet in this one, unfortunately. Genesee, what are your thoughts on this one?
I feel the same. I obviously have stated how I feel about this episode. Not my fave. This version of Thor was not my fave. I also didn't like that Dr. Jane Foster in this. Like, I understand why Thor is the way that he is in this episode, right? He's an orphan, only child, became a party boy. Why did Dr. Jane Foster become a groupie? Like, what if happened to make her just be like, drop all her science shit and go and frolic with fucking Thor for no goddamn reason?
Devin,
I know the reason.
Devin, yeah.
Why?
He's a space pirate angel.
Okay, but see, even when
I want to be a space pirate angel.
even when she was
Ernell,
like,
you could be if you believe hard enough.
Thank you. Genesee, go ahead.
if like even when she was a groupie for Thor in his first movie, like, she was still all about the science, and she was still like dragging him back to her lab to like test him and shit. Like, she wasn't just following him around. She was like, I'm gonna follow you to bring you back, But in this, she's just like, oh my god, I'm gonna sleep with him, and then I'm gonna like wait till he calls me. And I actually don't have a PhD anymore. I forgot everything in my brain, and I hate her. I hated it. That didn't make any fucking sense to me. I did really enjoy the fight between Captain Marvel and Thor. That was very fun. Here's what I'll say about this. I hate a lot of the ships in Marvel. Especially because Marvel is homophobic and they refuse to make people canonically gay.
Yes.
Captain Marvel is a goddamn lesbian. That's just the situation. I feel like Marvel needs to accept that.
Yes.
The only world in which I would accept any heterosexual pairing with her is Thor. Mostly because I want to know what those babies would look like. I want to know what that sex would be like. Like, I want it to fucking happen.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
I see you.
You know? I was watching this fight scene and I was like, ooh, okay. Good pregame. I love that. Also, you know that they'd have some like angry ass sex, and it would just be like it would start out with them like throwing down,
like some
smashing
Homelander style on The Boys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Oh, dude, I'm here for this, Genesee. I'm here for this.
Right? Right. Just like smashing a crater in the side of a planet on like every level. So and so I did enjoy that. But other than that, yeah, this episode wasn't my fave. I also really enjoyed how they were just willing to sacrifice the Dakotas.
Yeah, we don't need those. We don't need those.
They can't fight on Earth. They can't fight on Earth. Actually, take North and South Dakota. We don't need them.
We don't need them. We don't need them. We don't need them. Xander, hit us with it. What are your thoughts on this?
So ultimately, I also hated this episode. Ultimately, I felt like Marvel decided to pose the question, what if Thor were an only child on Tumblr, and then a bunch of Gen Z MCU fans took turns posting their ideas, and then Marvel just decided to take every single comment in that thread and animate it. And then, oh wait, but we got to lead up to the ending. So the last 10 seconds, you'll want to pay attention to that. And then all of a sudden, to be fair, doesn't necessarily add up. I mean, you see the Ultron bots in the following episode, but still, I'm just like,
that is a perfect description, Xander. That was excellent.
Yeah, like that's the only way I could really describe it, honestly.
As the only person here who actually kind of liked this episode, I have a responsibility to give you guys my opinion on it. I thought this movie was so...
You're wrong, but go ahead.
Yeah, for sure. I'll go fuck myself. I thought this episode was so purposely tacky in a lot of really flavorful ways. And I thought it was so much fucking fun seeing it, like just letting go of my expectations of what I wanted it to be. They gave us Thor as a spoiled fucking brat. And that was fine. What did Garrick say? What if we decided to give you a mediocre animated series to buy time for Hawkeye? Good. Shut up, Garrick. God damn it, dude. And anyways, I genuinely enjoyed this episode because it was just fun. They allowed themselves to just have some fucking fun. And all the other episodes had very diverse, thick, fun, like good, well-written stories, like overall, besides maybe zombies. But they allowed themselves to have an episode where they just said, we can just go balls to the wall and just have some fucking fun with this one. Give us a goofy fucking Thor. Give us a Jane Foster that doesn't make any sense. Because I want to bring that up because it's like, we're not just going into different multiverses where the main character is different. All the characters are allowed to be different. And so we had a Jane Foster here that was more groupie than Jane Foster that was in the Marvel movie. We had a Captain Marvel that was arguably a little bit more like, had more personality than the Captain Marvel that we had in the movies. You know, like there's, because, and I mean that in a sense of like, she's more stoic in the films. You know what I mean? She's became Captain Marvel and just has this massive fucking cock now, you know what I mean? Just massive dick, you know what I'm saying? Let's go. Anyways, I thought it was fun. I enjoyed it for what they were trying to do here. And just when I shut my brain off to a lot of the shitty episodes of this show, I was able to find myself enjoying them more when I'm just like, okay, I'm just not going to think about it that hard.
I would argue if that's what you're into, if that's what you want to see more of, watch Disney XD. They have all of that. I feel Party Thor, Marvel Zombies, even the Killmonger episode. You can find stories just like that on Disney XD.
That was so mean, Xander. That was so mean.
Episode 8.
I think that was mean.
Episode 8. What if Ultron won? We get a story. Yeah, let's try to zoom through this, guys. We've got about like 15 more minutes max that we can do this for. Story, Ultron, instead of getting defeated by the Avengers, actually gets what he wants, makes Vision, creates Vision as his body, and gets his hands on the Infinity Stones because he's entirely too powerful. And he begins wiping out universes with the Infinity Stones. And at the end of this episode, terrifyingly acknowledges the Watcher, breaking this third and kind of fourth wall that they had going on with our relationship with the Watcher as a narrator. And I remember having that part where he's like, you. And I was like, oh, oh, I was like, oh fuck, he's talking to me. He's talking to me. Whoa. And fucking, I saw a meme that like the other night too that was talking about how that was so scary, and people have started, they took a PNG cutout of him doing like the hand thing where he like reaches out towards the watcher, and they're putting it on different like like Twitter posts and saying he sees you and like quoting like his last little quote before he talks to the watcher. I was like, oh god, it's gross. I don't like it. Genesee, burn through it really fast. What were your thoughts on this episode?
I actually don't know that I have any distinct thoughts on this episode. I think I more so have thoughts about the next one, so I'll save them.
Okay, cool. Xander. You know what? Actually, do you guys want to just do this? These two episodes kind of run parallel
in
with
tandem,
each other.
yeah.
Do we want to
It's
do
a part
this?
1, part 2.
Yeah. Okay. Sick.
Yeah.
And then the last episode, we have what if the Watcher broke his oath, leading up after to Ultron going out around and fighting the Watcher in episode 8. We have a sum up here where the Watcher tries to recruit the main characters of the individual episodes of the rest of the show. Larry in the chat, what's happening, baby? We are in full spoilers for What If, by the way. So if you don't want spoilers, just giving you the heads up right now, Larry. We love you. If you don't care, stick around. We're here. We get the Watcher trying to recruit all the main characters from the individual episodes of the show so that they can help him fight Ultron after he has received the Infinity Stones. We get a massive fucking battle here. Relationships between all the characters. It is
Thank you,
big
Larry.
old fucking lit. And then finally, they do defeat Ultron. We have N'Jadaka himself, Killmonger, taking the stones for his own by utilizing the vibranium that the Ultron robots are made from and getting the vibranium suit himself that can attach the Infinity Stones to it, and they defeat him as well. Genesee, go.
Okay. I really, really, really enjoyed the Guardians of the Universe. I thought that was so fun. I also thought that they did it pretty well given the time constraints of the season. I wasn't honestly, they did it better than DC constructs their movies. So there was that.
Fuck you, Husky.
Oh, goddamn. Sorry, Husky.
Sorry, Husky. Fuck off.
I love you.
But yeah, so I loved it. I also really liked the aesthetic of Vision with all of the Infinity Stones. It was very dark, very, very ominous. I feel like that was constructed really well. I thought he was a very appropriate villain for the show. I didn't like that, like, halfway through the last episode they were done fighting him and then started fighting Killmonger. But then I was very confused. It was very confusing, that part of it for me.
What you got, Devin?
I have one gripe with this episode.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or actually, both episodes, I should say.
Sure,
How does Ultron get the Soul Stone?
I mean,
what does he
got
love
the
that-
Soul Stone from Thanos?
Oh, he did. Okay, I was just thinking of it. You
cuts
know,
him in half. Remember?
yeah.
Yeah.
Which that's my biggest gripe.
You want
That's how he just cuts.
You want to go into it? Xander?
Go into it, Xander. Go into it.
Hit us, Daddy. Go.
So okay.
Oh, here we go. Oh, this is gonna be lit. He said, "Okay."
You have the main villain of the Infinity Saga, right? You have the main villain from the Infinity Saga. He shows up, and all you have is Vision. Just interesting. Like not even a second. Like you'd think that Ultron, in his vast knowledge, would at least want to take a second to just be like, well, who the fuck are you? There's got to be some sort of exchange. They're both very intellectual beings. There's got to be some sort of exchange. And then finally, when Thanos explains, like, he's like, basically something even as small as, you have something I need. And then basically Vision puts 2 and 2 together. He's like, well, I can't have that. And then have like maybe a little bit more of a tussle. And then Vision kind of realizes, I could make this so easy. Then fucking cut him in half. Perfectly balanced, as all things should be.
If I may.
Nice.
if I may.
That was just like I felt it was lazy writing.
So two things that I have for you here.
The
Okay.
tagline of this show.
First off, the smoothness of your camera change just now was impeccable. Impeccable. Like chef's fucking kissed you, Xander. That was beautiful. The way you handled it was just beautiful. Secondly, I feel like a part of me wants to say I have to push back on this because I felt like I actually kind of enjoyed Thanos getting just lit the way that they did that, because to me it came off as them trying to make Ultron come off as just this reckless animal, and that's kind of what they were trying to portray. I don't think this Ultron gave a shit who Thanos was. I don't think he gives a fuck about anything. He just has a duty to destroying what he needs to destroy to create his universes. And that meant Thanos comes up, he goes, oh, those look tight. And he just fucking destroys fucking Thanos. Okay. And I think that recklessness was intended.
I can understand where you're getting at with that. But at the same time, don't you think you'd probably just go straight out the gate with the Watcher like that as well? Because when the whole issue with the Watcher is now Vision is very curious about what the hell is happening with this whole multiverse and stuff like that. You'd think that, okay, so I thought I killed everything. I thought everything was, done for. Who the fuck are you?
I think I would argue
there's got to be some moment where he was like, this I never expected this. Why are you here?
I think the way it hit to me was that because this Thanos was remarkably weaker than this Ultron and the Watcher was not, there was a more like of a respect line between this Ultron meeting the Watcher and recognizing that the Watcher was much more of a being than this Thanos was. Because we see this Ultron cut through Thanos in a millisecond. And that was to portray that this Thanos was fucking butter to this Ultron. Fucking butter. He did not give a shit. He was like, I will kick this fucking cat out the window for all I care. Right? He did not give a fuck. But meeting the Watcher and seeing that the Watcher is the equivalent of a celestial being, and he recognizes, like, you're actually powerful, there's a respect line there. That's how it came to me, at the very, very least.
Okay. I can understand that. I still wish there was at least some sort of exchange.
I do too. Honestly, I do kind of wish it had room for a cooler exchange. It would have been a doper payoff. So I do, especially with, I can just kind of see like what they were trying to do.
Especially with Josh Brolin being Thanos still too. Like they could have had some good banter between each other right there.
Yeah. No, that's fair. Genesee, you're our last one. Let's tie it off. Really, real quick.
I already went, honey.
You did. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah,
well, fuck
the
me,
last
I guess.
one.
I know. There's a lot of conversation happening. I'm tired. Having a hard time.
Also, the second anime moment that I wanted to mention with Michael B. Jordan.
Go.
When he gets the suit and he goes Super Saiyan.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he does.
That was kind of like a.
It was hard.
Like, that was like one of those moments where like I know Michael B. Jordan's watching this right now. It's like, yo, I'm fucking Super Saiyan, bro. Like,
yeah, I love it.
That was pretty cool.
He's like, I'm over 9,000.
But the fact that they wrap it all up when Doctor Strange Supreme realizes we were not brought here to win, we were not brought here to destroy them. We were brought here to make sure that the Infinity Stones were removed and then contained. That was sick to me. Like it wasn't some kind of like, okay, point A, point B. Point B is we destroy. We kill them. They're not killed off. They still exist. By the way, we completely glossed over Arnim Zola, which was kind of tight.
Yeah.
Finally, we get stomach, face, robot, body, Arnim Zola. A little different than I was expecting, but still pretty cool. But the fact that it kind of plays on that ending with the first Doctor Strange movie, where that also I really enjoyed because it wasn't just, oh, we have to destroy the villain. It was, no, we have to find a workaround. And, in that movie, he made a bargain with Dormammu millions of times, and finally Dormammu was just fucking tired, and he was like, all right, bye. This one, they contain Killmonger and Arnim Zola in a pocket universe, and then entrust Doctor Strange Supreme within his pocket universe to watch over it. So it's a pocket universe inside of a pocket universe.
Exception.
It's cool, man. I like it.
Which may be the multiverse of madness.
And we are going to get into that. For now, we have to cut us off just really, really fast right here. Guys, thank you for coming in. We enjoyed having this conversation. Thank you, Xander and Genesee and Devin and everyone that is involved with this new Good Kraken 2021 announcement stuff that we revealed earlier on. We're going to be diving into that a little bit more right after this. In the meantime, guys, we're going to talk some just a couple predictions in our brand new post-show content. Let's fucking go. We got about 15 minutes. We're gonna fucking do it. In the meantime, we're going to go do that post show, and we're gonna take this off of stream. If you want the post show, you can go to patreon.com/goodkrakenshow and be a patron of one of our tiers over there. Go check that out. In the meantime, this has been the Good Kraken podcast, your choice for all the nerdy video game and pop media news, reviews, and discussions that you wanted to hear, live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. and Saturdays at 12 p.m. right here at twitch.tv/goodkrakenshow. If you enjoy the show, you can support us by subscribing below, going to our YouTube channel by clicking the link down there in the About section of our Twitch channel, and clicking that bell and big red button, or by subscribing to our podcast channel by searching Good Kraken with an exclamation mark and leaving a review there. But until next time, my friends, be good to each other. All right, guys. Post show shit. Let's.
I got some stuff to take care of, so I'm gonna have to
back out of this one. Okay, that's fine.
Yes,
that's fine.
yes.
That's fine.
But
that's fine.
I enjoyed every waking moment with you guys, and I hope you guys have a wonderful one.
Love you, baby. Be good.
Bye.
Be good. Be
Bye.
good. Be good.
Yeah, I only have about 15 minutes before
That
I
is
get
totally fine. We can do that. Let's talk. Genesee, what are your predictions after this show?
Fuck, I don't even know, man. I definitely think that we are going to see more of Captain Carter. I think that's probably going to happen. I'm excited for the implications of Doctor Strange's episode. I definitely think that we talked last time after, I think it was, what did we, Venom 2, when we did, or was it, yeah, Venom, when we talked about Venom 2, me and Ernell, my prediction was that Spider-Man's movie No Way Home and Multiverse of Madness are basically going to be part 1 and part 2 of each other. His episode really did kind of enforce that for me. Especially because there was a line in his episode that was almost exactly a line from WandaVision about the what was it? Like destroy the world. Like it was almost the same line. And
okay.
I think there was a line in the trailer for No Way Home that where Doctor Strange is talking to Peter about not destroying the world, but like, well, yeah, it was kind of like destroying the world if he doesn't choose a version of himself to live. Then the implications are going to be something that he can't afford to pay. And so that for me, I mean, we already know that Doctor Strange is going to be in his movie and all of that, but I feel like all of these are connected, and I feel like they're right on top of each other. Doctor Strange, Wanda, and Peter Parker. So that I had problems with the Zola thing because the implications of that for me would if Zola's coming back, does that mean that we're gonna have to deal with Hydra again?
I mean, we kind of know that Hydra is coming back already because we have what is assumed to be Lady Hydra right now.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Oh, I forgot about her.
So Hydra is definitely going to be a thing in some form or another, whether they name it exactly Hydra or not. Because we have Lady Hydra now, we have U.S. Agent, we have a new Black Widow, we have Artem Zola probably, so it's it's inevitable at this point, especially with the Black Widows being a thing and Red Guardian and
yeah. There's a lot going on. There.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be dope to see any and all of it. Like for sure.
Not only
like,
that, Thunderbolts too.
Thunderbolts. Gonna be fun.
The official bridging between Sony Marvel and MCU Marvel now. We got Venom, we got freaking
Doc Ock.
Morbius, Doc Ock, like the Thunderbolts, Abomination's back, Shang-Chi, 10 Rings, his sister. Like,
dude, hold on.
Happening.
Some light bulb just clicked in my head. What if we get Thunderbolts versus Sinister Six? How dope would that be?
That could happen.
How dope would that be? That'd be pretty dope.
That could happen.
Mm-hmm.
That could happen. We got She-Hulk coming, which is going to have Abomination as well. So Abomination's going to be more fleshed out. We have Hawkeye coming up.
We have the Lady Thor.
Yeah, we have Lady Thor coming.
Yes, Jane Foster.
Yeah. We got Hawkeye coming, and Wilson Fisk is rumored to be at the end of the show on the last few episodes. We got the confirmation recently that Punisher is coming back to MCU, and so is Daredevil. So there's a lot happening. It's hard for me to hone in on predictions at this point because it isn't like we're just watching Loki now. It's that the multiverse is open. What if just happened? I have no idea what if is going to happen at this point. You know what I mean? They can do whatever they want.
If you could take one prediction as a takeaway now that you've watched What If, what is the one that pops to your mind after having experienced What If? As far as implications of the MCU.
I think we're going to see the Watcher in the MCU voiced by Jeffrey Wright.
Watcher,
I think that's going to happen because we are moving forward. The next major movie we're getting is Eternals. And I feel like that is going to explain a lot of what cosmic beings are in the MCU, right?
Yeah.
I think the Watcher is going to be in that movie in some form or another at some point.
One thing we very much breezed over. Do you guys remember the very, very brief Galactus cameo in the Ultron episode?
Yes.
Yeah, Galactus, the World Eater,
he ate Galactus.
He fucking destroyed Galactus. Yeah, dog. Yeah. Like we had a brief. So like this is interesting. Now that the reason I bring that up is because you bring up the Eternals, explaining a lot about cosmic beings in a greater sense. Galactus is one of those cosmic beings. So it's like, what if we really start playing around with like the buildup from what we know now and What If and the Watcher, building into potentially introducing Galactus in the near future alongside the stuff going on with King the Conqueror.
Yeah, because King the Conqueror is essentially infinite. He will always be around at this point.
Yeah.
You can't get rid of it.
Yeah.
You can't.
I'm not gonna go there.
But like you can't. We're building up towards Secret Wars. We're building up to different armies of the Avengers and villains fighting each other. That's what we are building up to now.
Yeah.
Galactus is a big part of that. The Fantastic Four is a big part of that. Spider-Man, Deadpool's a big part of that. You know what I mean? Thanos is a big part of that. Ultron is even in that. The Ultron that we see in What If is like one of the main villains in Secret Wars. You know what I mean? Like they are building up to some crazy shit. Like, and there's also the rumor too in Multiverse of Madness, us kind of tying back into What If here. Not only do we possibly see this strange Supreme, but Wanda is supposed to fight an X-Men character as well. A Fox property X-Men character that we've all seen before. And people are trying to say it's supposed to be James McAvoy's Xavier or Michael Fassbender's Magneto.
I mean, Magneto is her dad, canonically.
That would make the most sense to me, because who's somebody who could fight her?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Magneto.
Like,
if
exactly.
anything, yeah, Magneto. Yeah.
Because they've already established he can control the iron in your bloodstream too. So you know what I mean?
I mean, did they? I don't think they canonized that in the last few movies, did they?
They canonized it in the Fox universe, and Fox
where
is
do they?
brought. Oh,
no, for sure.
When?
But when did they do that? I don't think they ever do that in the movies.
they didn't they do it during the Apocalypse movie?
Well, so that was them injecting metal into someone's bloodstream, and then he pulled it from them. I don't think he ever got to the point in the movies where he was so powerful he could just control the iron in their blood. But what if they did? And that would be fucking.
But and they also said it is supposed to be a Fox X-Men character.
Exactly. And sure,
Asher and everything.
I just making
this
sure
could
that
be
they
a more
actually...
powerful version of him after that apocalyptic experience, you know.
Yeah, because I mean that is now technically one of the multiverses, because Days of Future Past kind of was touching on that way before Marvel ever did, right? So it's like, that's a good point.
With Wolverine. Well, then there's another thing too. Xavier is the one who accelerated that time travel. Remember, through the mind. Xavier is the one who did that. Well, I don't know. My brain hurts thinking about all this shit.
You're gonna fucking break my brain talking about this shit. In the meantime, guys, do you have anything else you want to bring up here as far as predictions, as far as like any little things that you think we have coming up at all?
On Quantum Mania, do you think What If has any implications towards Quantum Mania?
No, because I think Quantum Mania is just going to be used to sort of introduce Kang as a bigger character. They're gonna use that to break Kang out of Loki and really make him a prominent character in the MCU. I think that's mostly what Quantum Mania is going to be for.
I think we're gonna see Kang in some form or another in every movie moving forward. Maybe not Eternals, but everything past that.
He'll be, I think I can almost confidently say that he'll more than likely be in a post-credit scene of Eternals. And then from that point forward, he's going to be in one part or another of every single Marvel movie for the rest of Phase 4.
I want to see him show up in like one of the Marvel movies, like with a villain that they're dealing with. I want to see him show up, kill the villain, and then just disappear. I want to see that so bad. It would go so hard. It would go so hard.
That would be.
He shows up, shoots him in the head, and then goes back into his portal.
That'd be fucking sweet. You're right. That'd be fucking sweet.
Yeah.
Genesee, you got any others? You got anything else for us before we end off?
No, not really. I do think though that I'm sorry. My my Sudafed definitely kicked in somewhere around Killmonger.
Oh, I see. Okay, for sure. For sure.
So I'm chilling. But I do think that there are implications from What If for quantum. Is it quantum realm?
Quantumania.
Yeah.
Quantumania. I mean, I just think that we talked about it too much. Like we talked about they put quantum in front of goddamn zombies for no goddamn reason. Like they talked about it too much for it to not be. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. That's fair.
They could show a real zombies in the Multiverse of Madness too. They could show that. It is Sam Raimi. And they did officially say it is Marvel's first horror movie.
Yeah. I don't know. I've got some weird caveats about that. Because, like, Sam Raimi was also the director of the original 3 Spider-Man movies. And that was nothing like Sam Raimi's, like, previous work. So, I mean, there's a lot of things that could be applied there. My prediction that I would have is I think that we're going to see the Watcher in Multiverse of Madness. I think that's where they're going to introduce him as a live action character. And and I think that's going to be implied because Supreme Strange is going to be in Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah.
Do you think he'll be in Spider-Man's movie?
I think it's going to be a post-credit scene.
Yeah.
I'll take that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think it'll be a post-credit scene. They're going to show
we're getting there. We're getting there, guys.
We're so close.
We have less.
Oh man.
We have less than a month until Eternals, and then shortly after Eternals we have Hawkeye, and then shortly after Hawkeye we have Spider-Man No Way Home. Shortly after that we're supposed to have Miss Marvel, which we're probably going to get a trailer for as soon as Hawkeye ends.
Yeah, more than likely. more than likely.
Yeah.
Fucking wild, man. It's I
Like-
mean, like, I think after like mid to late 2022, Marvel fans are gonna have been so spoiled. Go for like 2 years, then we're not gonna know what to do.
I can't wait for Hawkeye, honestly.
I can't either.
It looks so fun. It looks so fun.
That's one thing. I feel like there wasn't a lot from like all of the recent content, except for maybe like Shang-Chi. I had a prediction from that. I don't think much is leading into Hawkeye.
Well, the thing that led
You know
into
what I mean?
Hawkeye was the post-credit scene in Black Widow. That's
Right.
we're
Yeah.
gonna see Yelena as Black
Yes.
Widow in that.
Yes.
It's confirmed. Now, something else I want to point out. So with the confirmation of Wilson Fisk being in Hawkeye, in the comics, Wilson Fisk takes in Echo as his pseudo daughter, just like how Thanos does with Gamora.
Yeah.
And here's another thing. They announced that there's going to be an Echo spin-off show. Echo and Daredevil also have a relationship in the comics too.
Did Disney announce that?
Yes, they did. And we have Wilson Fisk. We have Daredevil coming back. We have Echo. We might see some stuff. And there's big rumors with Daredevil coming around in MCU properties, right?
Right.
I think we might not get Daredevil in Spider-Man, but I think we might get him in Hawkeye because it is in Hell's Kitchen.
Oh shit, that is confirmed. It is confirmed. Holy fuck. Okay, yeah, no, I remember us talking about this in our sort of reactions to the Hawkeye trailer. And how like I remember talking about how they showed Echo in the trailer and how prominent of a character Echo is in the comics. And how big of a deal this is, because Echo should have been in this a long fucking time ago. Fucking time ago. Echo should have been introduced to the MCU. I like the implications of her now being more committed to, and I think that would be really, really cool. I mean, like, then we start talking about Daredevil, like you said, Punisher becoming more of a prominent character. You know, there's tons of other stuff that we could be getting out of this, and it's all really good news.
I think we're gonna eventually see Hawkeye / Kate Bishop work with Punisher at some point. I think that actually might happen.
So fucking excited for Haley
I think
Steinfeld
that'll happen.
Oh my god,
as
Queen
Kate Bishop.
Yeah.
I am beyond pumped.
Yeah, and it is 100% established that Punisher will be in the MCU. 100%. They've already said that.
Was it because
they
that was
said
the
that?
article you sent us, right? That was the article you sent us.
I've sent Ernell a lot of different text messages about this with a lot of different articles.
Okay, but if I remember correctly, though, the article that you last sent me was talking about him getting his own show, but not necessarily being in the MCU.
No, it's MCU. Here, I'll search
Because
it right
when
now.
I looked into it, the latest thing I saw was like an interview this week with the actor who plays him, and he still wasn't confirming.
We'll see. I mean,
giant freaking robot. John Berthel returning as Punisher. Our scoop confirmed. John is returning as the Punisher to the MCU. This is from Giant Freaking Robot.
The tough part is that, like, it's sort of like what Xander was saying the other night, is that unless it comes out of Disney's social stuff itself, it is basically not confirmed yet. And so it's like with like the thing about Echo, Variety did an interview with the production people of Disney. And so that's how they were able to confirm that Echo was going to be a thing. And so it's like websites typically it's hard to say. It's hard to say. So it's like really like none of us are right because there's nothing absolutely.
You want to know what the rumor is?
What?
The rumor is you might see him in Moon Knight.
That'd be dope. I'm here for that. I'm hella here for that.
And also, there was a picture of Willem Dafoe with Oscar Isaac and Ethan Hawke on the set of Moon Knight as well.
Yeah,
with all of them arms hanging around each other.
Yeah, that's it's gonna be dope. It's gonna be tight. It's also tight because, guys, thank you for watching our very first post show. It's been lit. It's been tight. Hope you enjoy this extra content and us being, shills for your guys' money. We love all of you. And thank you so much for supporting us, because obviously if you have access to this, you are supporting us over at patreon.com/goodkrakenshow. And we love every single one of you. Anyways, we gotta go, guys. We love you. Be good and have fun and obviously be good to each other. Bye-bye. We love you guys. Bye.